guys, and happy Mermaid Marathon Day 8. So in case you missed it, this is the second reading vlog for my Mermaid Pirate Ocean themed readathon. I will link the previous reading vlog and all the information down below in the description. It will definitely be too late to join by the time you see this video, but I hope you enjoy this week long of mermaid and summer reading and activities and things like that. We had a rough week 1. I really did not feel well for most of the week. I am feeling so much better today, not 100%, but I'd say maybe 80%. I am feeling a little bit emotionally sensitive though from being sick, so I'm picking a little bit lighter, fluffier books, which is kind of always my goal. I'm really just up for a grand adventure. I don't mind a little bit of emotional intensity. Some of my favorite books have ripped my heart out of my chest, but right now I'm just feeling a little extra sensitive, so I'm not wanting some darker topics, which mermaid books love to go so dark sometimes, and it just comes out of nowhere. I am not sure what audiobook I'm starting next. I have an hour left of Maybe a Mermaid, so I'm going to read this on my way to work today. I am working today for just a couple of hours. Tonight we're going to go bowling for my sister's birthday. It's going to be a busy day. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a ton of reading in. I know I didn't update you guys a ton on the last day, but I did finish American Mermaid and I have very mixed feelings about it. This had the potential to be a 5-star read for me. I was so enjoying my time. The narrator was great. I didn't mind going back and forth between the story about the writer and her being in LA and getting her book into the movie option and then going into the book portion where we're learning about the actual story of the mermaid. I so wish this had been the story about the mermaid, not just because I love mermaids, but because it was actually very unique and interesting and it was just done really well. But we were going back and forth and then it kind of ties together at the end, but I'm a little bit confused about the ending. I don't really entirely know what happened. This is very humorous. It's almost like a satire read. It reminds me kind of Beauty Queens from Libba Bray / Mermaids in Paradise. It's better than Mermaids in Paradise and it's different than Beauty Queens, but they've got that very humorous vibe. I found out that this author is actually a stand-up comedian, so that makes a lot more sense. At times I didn't like Penelope, our main character. I found her to be a little bit of a brat. She was a little bit obnoxious sometimes. This was kind of a wild, wacky read. I would still recommend it because it was just weird and interesting. It probably is sitting at a 3-star for me because I was so let down about the ending and just a little bit confused. I did enjoy my time with this book, even though it was kind of all over the place. I have a new book that I started that I didn't tell you guys about. So I actually started Speechless on ebook because I'm not loving Atlantis Rising. I am going to finish it hopefully today or tomorrow. I only have 90 pages left. There are just not very many ocean island atmospheric vibes in it. It's really just about the girl learning that she's a descendant of the children of Atlantis and they have powers and her figuring out the world. There's a lot of world building and then they're going to prom, which can happen in the YA books, so that's fine. But it seems to be more about building friendships and the romance and things like that. And it's a little bit on the dull side. I'm hoping it gets better by book 2 because I have the second one. Definitely won't read that for the readathon. But I switched over to Speechless because I've been wanting to read this for so long and I've been debating on whether to read it for Galaxy-a-thon or Mermaid Marathon because this is a sci-fi futuristic space retelling of Little Mermaid. I really should have read it during Galaxy-a-thon now that I'm reading it. I'm 90 pages in, but I am really loving it. This is an indie book that I got the ebook for free on Amazon. So our main character is in this futuristic world where there was this massive earthquake and it sank a bunch of California in the water. I'm not entirely sure what happened. I feel I might need to reread the first couple pages. And then there are these apparitions that are these people that have powers or abilities. Right now our main character, all I know is that she has gills. So when she goes in the water, she can breathe underwater. I don't know if that's what everyone has or if they have different things happening. It's the only thing I'm not liking. I'm just a tiny bit confused, but I don't know if it just hasn't been revealed yet or if I just missed it in the beginning part of the book. But they live in old LA, so half of LA is underwater and then half is not, and it's kind of beat up and getting rebuilt, so it's got a dystopian vibe. And she treasure hunts underwater with her best friend that her family rescued when he was young, and they go and scuba dive and treasure hunt for things to sell to make money. which I actually really love. I love a treasure hunting book. But then there's another plot. We have this colony on Mars and they're like figuring out how to live there, and it's being broadcast like a virtual reality show. So everyone's kind of obsessed with it and you can watch it like 24/7. And she's really into one of the guys and she's always wanted to go. So she's like obsessed with Mars and she applies to go to Mars. And then there's like a training sequence and things. So far it's got like everything I like. There's no mermaid action. I think we're about to lose the like underwater atmosphere because she's probably gonna go to Mars. It's definitely more of a space book, but I'm really liking the writing style. I'm totally invested. I'm thinking about the book a lot and I'm really wanting to like pick it up, and it's on ebook, which is not my favorite, but it's kind of giving me like Divergent vibes. Really enjoying it. Those are my updates for now. I'm going to go to work for a little bit today, come home, change, get ready, and then we're gonna go bowling, so I'll take you with us when we do that. And I think that's it for now. I plan on making this vlog so much better than the last vlog because I wasn't feeling good. I just didn't get very much B-roll. I didn't do any of the crafts or anything that I was planning. That's okay, life happens. I don't think I've ever been sick during a readathon, so that's a bit of a bummer. I still got quite a few books in overall, so at least I got some reading done. But hopefully this week will be much more entertaining to watch. And this is the mermaid mug for today. So this is my Rae Dunn Little Mermaid mug that my sweet friend Brittany got me last year. Almost 3 o'clock. We're getting ready to go head out for bowling. Forgive the hair. I dried my bangs, but I didn't dry my hair because I'm going to French braid it. So it'll be all nice and wavy tomorrow. I wanted to check in because I finished Maybe a Mermaid and I loved it so much. This is like my second favorite read of the readathon. It's middle grade, which I love a good middle grade, but there are two types of middle grade. There is middle grade that is written for middle graders to enjoy. That's totally fine and that's amazing. And then there are stories where the character is of middle grade age that are more enjoyable for any age. And that's what this one was. It was so precious and so sweet. I loved the little resort that they were staying at. I loved the plot about friendship. I love the plot between the mother and the daughter. I love the little Mary Kay business aspects of it because the mom was very much like, rah rah, go team, this is what we do to hit our goals, and the daughter was on board, and it was just really, really cute. Had such a fun summery vibe, and it actually ended on 4th of July, which was just perfect. I think I'm going to keep track of books that take place on 4th of July. This is the second one that I've read, and I don't know of that many, but it's fun to read things like the day that they're happening. I have a bunch that are on like Christmas and Thanksgiving. I love this, so I will definitely be checking out more from Josephine Cameron. That's how I find some of my favorite authors, or middle grade authors especially, is I'll like find one book and then I'll just like read everything else they have. So glad that I enjoyed this so much, especially after American Mermaid. Kind of made me sad. Then I started Fear the Drowning Deep by Sarah Glenn Marsh, and I'm really liking this. I think in my head I was kind of putting this off because I was thinking it was going to be much darker and like spookier, which I enjoy, but I have to be in the mood for, and it really isn't. It's just kind of like a typical YA style writing, which is great. I love that. It's not really that spooky or creepy. It's got some Irish folklore. We've got some like talk of witches in here. We've got this cool island setting and these mysteries, and it's very atmospheric and kind of almost fairy tale-esque, and I'm really liking it so far. It's much like of an easier read than I was expecting. So doing this on audio, the narrator's good. I think I have 2 hours left. Probably won't finish it today. We are going to come back kind of early because we're only going to bowl for a couple hours. but I'm really gonna try to finish my physical read. So that's what's happening here. I was just outside after I got home from work gardening and harvesting, so that's all the footage that you saw earlier. We're finally starting to get baskets full of food. I overplanted green beans. I love having fresh green beans to cook and eat in the summer, and I only had a certain amount last year, so I like way overplanted because I wanted a bunch. I have a bunch, but then I've not been feeling well, so I haven't been able to eat them yet. So I have like a huge bag of green beans that I need to like cook this week, which I'm excited about. And then like cucumbers, tomatoes are trickling in. I got some more of my nasturtium seeds. I love harvesting in the summer. So fun. And it's still not very hot yet. It feels very warm, but it's like 79, so we're not quite even in the 80s yet. So I'm really trying to like keep pushing with the garden work until it gets like too hot to where I don't want to do anything but like occasionally water. So anyway, I'm gonna take you bowling. We're gonna do some clips of that. I'm gonna read my book on the way there. It's only like 30 minutes, so I probably won't get too much done. And that will be what happens today. And I'll check back in with you tomorrow. Happy Mermaid Marathon day 9 and happy 4th of July. So it's 4 o'clock. We've just kind of been hanging out at the house and like cleaning and cooking and getting caught up on things. Sorry if you can hear my air conditioners because it's a warm one today. But I thought I'd check in and share some things with you because I have a lot to update. So first of all, since today's prompt on Instagram was pirates, I have my appropriate little parrot mug that I got from Disney recently. This is from the Tiki Room. It's really awesome. So I'm drinking out of this today. We had so much fun bowling last night. It was such a blast. I haven't bowled in years and years and years, and we set up like this party for my sister, and we would just like let them know we wanted to reserve 2 lanes, and we had 6 people coming, and they literally set up like an actual birthday event. It really wasn't that expensive for 2 hours of bowling for 6 people. We got 3 unlimited food items, and they set up this cute little display that you saw with her name on it, and they gave her a stuffed animal, and it was so much fun. So I think Bolero is a change. So if you have one, check it out because it was a blast. It was so funny. My hips and left side were bothering me today, and I'm like, oh no, my pain's coming back and I'm feeling out of whack. And then Jeff was like, my left butt cheek hurts. And I was like, oh, it's because we were bowling and we would like lunge on our left side, and we would bowl, and we did bowling for 2 hours, so we basically like lunged for 2 hours. And I was like, oh, okay, we're good. I'm just bowling sore, which is hilarious. Everyone was teasing me because I used a 10-pound ball. I was able to like get more pins down that way because it was heavier and it didn't feel that heavy to me, and it was the same one my brother was using. And I think I was making the boys paranoid that I was using such a big bowling ball, but I wasn't even trying to. It was so fun. We're probably gonna bowl a lot more. It was a nice thing to do on a hot day too. Okay, I have a few things I don't think I updated you on. So I read Aquacorn Cove a few days ago. This is by Katie O'Neill, and I've been wanting to read Katie O'Neill's Tea Dragon Society for a while. I thought that they were related, but there are no tea dragons in here. And I was so excited for this one. I love the art. I've heard amazing things. It has great reviews, but I really did not enjoy it. I loved the writing style. I love the seaside town. There were some really good elements about it. So this one is set like in a seaside town, and we have a young girl going with her dad to stay with her aunt, and she discovers these like water dragons and this like underwater world, and she has recently lost her mother. So we have the water creature world, we have a grief aspect, and then we have a couple other topics going on. First of all, part of the reason I didn't like it is I felt like it had too much going on for how short it is. It is such a quick read. The other thing I didn't like is that it focuses a lot on saving the environment and protecting the environment throughout the story, which of course I love, and we want to keep our oceans clean and cared for and all of those things. But I felt like it got to the point to where it was like very preachy and heavy-handed, and it made the story less enjoyable for me. I wanted more of like an actual plot, and it just didn't really feel that way to me. Also, the main character's aunt is smoking throughout the entire book, and I just felt like that was kind of ironic considering the message of the book was like, take care of the environment. So that part kind of annoyed me. I might get hate for this because this is such a popular book. This was like a 2, maybe 3-star read for me. I enjoyed the art. I just really didn't connect with it. I also, keep in mind, was just about to get really sick when I read this. It was like the day before I got my fever, so I was feeling like extra sensitive and things as well, so that could have played a part, but unfortunately it just didn't work well. I don't know if I told you guys I read the Nevergirls graphic novel, Mystery at the Mermaid Lagoon. I believe this is the first one. It's following the Nevergirls. This is a middle grade, extremely short graphic novel. Again, sometimes I feel like these are just too short, but I understand the purpose of these is to get kids into reading. I think this one accomplishes that. Not much of a plot line in here, but the art's really cute, and this is a fun one for kids. And then I can't find the book, which is bothersome because I have it, but I finished Fear the Drowning Deep today. I had a bunch of discoveries while reading this book. First of all, I thought this one was going to have a little bit more of a horror vibe. That was literally my own assumption from the description and the cover. It is not really that. It is more of like a traditional YA seaside read. There is like a murder mystery kind of to unsolve a little bit, and our main character is an assistant to who everybody in the town thinks is like a witch, so there's like a mystery with that. There's a lot of like sea creatures and monsters. Technically not a mermaid book, but it works really good for the readathon because there is a lot of sea monsters and things like that. It has a lot of Irish folklore, which I really enjoyed. And then I found out that her newest book, Dread the Harvest Moon, is a companion to Fear the Drowning Deep and takes place after the events following a different character. So I'll definitely be reading this, hopefully in the fall. It doesn't have an audiobook, which is kind of sad, because I enjoyed the audio. This one definitely has more of like a fall vibe about it, so I'm gonna check that out. And then I found out that Reign of the Fallen, which is a fantasy duology, I think it's a duology, that I own, is also by her, and I really liked her writing style, and this one has to do with like necromancy and royalty and things, so that was exciting. So then I started The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea. I am almost an hour into the audiobook. This is very pirate heavy, which is awesome because I think I have only read maybe 4 or 5 pirate books. I filmed a reel earlier that I'm going to post soon on Instagram. Post a clip of me filming it at the end of this, and I literally was like scouring my shelves. I think I have some other books that are like mildly pirate, but like real pirate books, like where that's the focus. I think I've only read a couple, which is unfortunate, but we're gonna try and change that this year. Switching the hair to the other side. This is like my chaotic mess from having it French braided when wet. Such like a cheater's way to do the hair. So tonight we don't have many more plans other than we're probably gonna camp out at the bedroom at some point to protect Ledge from the fireworks because they really freak him out. We can turn the air up, and Jeff moved the TV in there so that the sound will kind of drown everything out. And then we're gonna take Ledge for a walk later. We gotta go get some more groceries, so kind of just mundane things. I might be going to the beach tomorrow or just doing a beach walk. I have bigger plans for the rest of the week as long as I can get caught up on everything because I got a little bit behind when I was like not feeling good. Everyone's doing really good on Instagram still. I'm very impressed with it being over a holiday, but I did announce on there this will be the last time that I do Mermaid Marathon on 4th of July because between the 2 birthdays that we have and 4th of July, which we didn't even wind up doing anything today because we did so much for the birthdays. It's just a lot to try and get reading done. I know I was sick, so that messed me up as well, but I think we're just gonna do it on a day that's a little bit better because the content vlogging wise, my reading amounts, activity on Instagram and all that stuff will be so much better if I don't have to do like all the birthday activities as well. So that's my update for now. I'll just take you with us while we go walking and stuff. Overall, having a good day and I'm feeling so much better. Ledge. Okay, I know the air is loud, but I'm camping out in the bedroom because somebody lit one firework in the middle of the day and Ledge got nervous. So we came in the bedroom so that I could pump the air on and make it kind of loud in here, and I'm reading my book, but I had to check in because I have like 70 pages left and I kind of want to DNF it, but I don't because I want to count it for the readathon. I don't know if I'm going to read the rest of them like I said. This is like a pet peeve of mine. Look at this cover. Look how oceany and cool it is. And like, why is she chained? And then all of the chapter headers have this like water sun looking thing. Like they're underwater. And I get that they're like the children of Atlantis, but they're in Vegas. There is no water. They're not going to water. They're not talking about going to the ocean. They're not talking about like magic with water. Like, I don't understand why she made them children of Atlantis. They could literally be the children of anything. They have different abilities and things like that. But why? Why? I want the water vibes. We don't get a hint of like going to Atlantis or water magic or something by the end of this book. I'm not going to read the rest of them. I don't understand. I'm very bored. She's like doing a speech at her high school right now. And like training for something. I don't know. I'm annoyed, so I thought I would check in. We're going to persevere because I want to count this on Goodreads. And that's just the place that I'm at right now. Hey guys, happy Mermaid Marathon, day 10. So it is 11:30 Wednesday morning. I feel a little bit off course with the readathon and just my regular life. So I decided to stay home most of today and just do like a reset day and do some cleaning and some gardening, some reading, some audiobooking. I'm gonna watch The Bachelor that I still haven't watched from Monday and all of those kind of boring things, unfortunately. Because tomorrow I am finally gonna go to one of my favorite beaches ever, and we're gonna go sea glass hunting, and I think I'm gonna read or at least go like on a beach walk, and then we're gonna do a little Halloween hunting up closer to where Jeff works in Orange County. I might go pick Jeff up tonight and then take him to work tomorrow. I'll see what he thinks about that because I gotta walk ledge, but I'm gonna do it a little bit later in the evening because the evenings have still been really cool and I've just been enjoying them. So I have lots of updates again. Last night got thrown off course a little bit because Jeff had to go pick up a car to take to work tomorrow because we sold our car. It was the whole thing. Don't want to go into it here, but we had like a 30-minute drive and then we took Ledge for a walk around that really cool park with the lake that we found. So definitely heading back there sometime. I finished Atlantis Rising. It's kind of a typical, slightly younger YA adventure read. My main issue is just the atmosphere doesn't match the cover. The authors don't always have control over the covers, but it's called Atlantis Rising. They're the children of Atlantis. The chapter covers have water in them, and I just wanted something, like one character to have water magic or a mention of them like going to Atlantis or something. I'm fine with it not being mermaid, but I wanted just something a little bit more atmospheric. And this was really more character driven than anything, which was fine. Children of Atlantis and the way that they did their powers and the bad guys and all that stuff was fine. I think some people will enjoy this one. I think I'm gonna unhaul it. I don't think I'm gonna read the rest of the series. I read the synopsis for book 2 and book 3, and none of them mention like anything like about going to Atlantis or anything, so I think I'm good with it, unfortunately. So like a 3-star, because it's not a terrible book, just didn't really work for me. Physically started Tides by Betsy Cornwall because I went back and I watched my oldest Mermaid Marathon TBR before I ever actually made a readathon, and I was just doing it for myself. I called June and July Mermaid Marathon when I read mermaid books when we first moved to California, and this and one other one were the only two that I hadn't read yet, and it was like 6 years ago. So I figured I finally need to get to it. This is a Selkie story. It's beautiful. I wanted to read Betsy Cornwall for a while. I only got like 20 pages in, so I don't have too much to report. And then I'm doing 1,000 audiobooks. So I got about 2 hours into this one. I'm really enjoying it so far. The atmosphere is really good. It's very piratey. They're on a ship. They're headed to these like floating islands, which I'm very excited about. And then today I started The Mermaid in Brooklyn, which is an adult magical surrealism fantasy. I have a whole list of mermaid books that I don't think I'm gonna like, but I want to read them so that I can let you guys know whether they're good or not. And 90% of the time they turn out being exactly what I thought they were gonna be, or maybe worse. But there's a few times where I'm like pleasantly surprised. So I started this one, and it's about like a mom in Brooklyn, and her like husband leaves her or goes missing, and then something to do with a mermaid. I don't know if she becomes a mermaid. I don't know if she finds a mermaid. She's like in her 40s, I think, and she's like bored with her life and all of that jazz. It's fine so far. I'm only like 30 minutes in. It's annoying, but not as annoying as The Pisces by Melissa Broder. Again, another magical surrealism book. Again, another adult, almost 40-something woman. The woman in this is actually my age, and she's kind of having a crisis because she's going through a breakup, and she's going to like counseling with like other people that are struggling with like being like addicted to past partners and romance and things like that. And at some point I think she meets a merman. I had a friend read this last year. She said it was one of her least favorite books of all time. It was almost bad in a good way though, and she kind of wanted me to read it just so we could talk about it. And I had another friend that was getting ready to read it, so I asked her if she wanted to buddy read it. So we're doing this on audiobook. This and Mermaid in Brooklyn so far are the reasons that I don't read a ton of adult books, especially with like a light contemporary setting, because the women in this are so miserable. They're miserable in their lives, but they're miserable to read about. They're negative. If anybody does anything fun, like there's a woman in her counseling group that's going salsa dancing to kind of make herself feel better, and she's like making fun of her and saying it's like the lowest of the low and looking down on her, and they're just miserable. I think they're supposed to be. I think they're both kind of satirical. Mermaids of Paradise was kind of that way, but it kind of took a turn and had like an adventurous plot. And this one right now, she is just trying to like randomly date instead of having like a true boyfriend, and she's never done that before, and it is absolutely awful. Like the things that she's doing, the sex scenes, the things she's doing to prepare for sex, it's not even all about that. It's just very graphic and descriptive. She's watching her sister's dog, and she's doing a terrible job, and it's making me very angry because she's neglecting this poor sweet baby and like just going off with a bunch of men. And I don't know. I had just planned to read a little bit of each of the books and let my buddy reads catch up while I binged The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea. So I got 2.5 hours into this, and I'm gonna wait to see what Stacey thinks because it's so bad. I'm still curious about her like meeting the mermaid, but it's just so obnoxious. At one point she was describing something she was doing, and it kind of made me have like a gag reflex because it was so gross. I don't know if this is supposed to be satire. Like look at all of these blurbs. I feel like people love obnoxious, satirical, middle-aged women, and it's just very annoying to me. Like I don't like them. Mermaids in Paradise at least had some redeeming qualities, and it was just like totally off the rails because crazy things happen with the plot. But this one is about what I expected, maybe slightly worse. The audio narrator is good, and it is still kind of an engaging story even though it's obnoxious. Normally, if we weren't doing mermaid books, I would definitely DNF this, but it's kind of fun to watch me read things that I don't think I'm gonna like, right? Really disliking it so far, but I'm holding out for the merman. So those are my updates right now. 2 buddy audiobooks, a regular audiobook, my physical book. Yeah, unfortunately, again, I don't know what we're gonna do for B-roll today. I don't have a lot in mind. I don't want to give up with making this a good vlog, so hopefully me just talking to you about insane mermaid books will be good enough, and maybe we'll go for a walk or something later today. I'm gonna go to Sprouts and get some sushi because it's Wednesday and it's $5 sushi day, and yeah, just kind of hang out around the house today. Update you as my books keep continuing to get worse and worse. DNF. Hooray! Halfway through, I think this is my new most hated book of all time that I've attempted to read. The descriptions in here are so gross. Everything to do with bodily functions and sex, injuries. I still haven't really even gotten to the merman part. I decided I'm not gonna torture myself. I'm so annoyed with it. And then I found out something that happens at the end that makes me literally fuming mad. And I don't know if this is considered satire or not. I don't really care. It's terrible. The main character is a terrible person. I heard other people saying that people are just harsh on women characters, and I'm like, no, she's a terrible person. She's very extremely selfish. She judges everyone. She looks down on people for enjoying things, has a terrible negative outlook on how life is. She's ignoring her sister's dog that she's supposed to be babysitting in like an unsafe way. And I get that she's struggling and going through a hard time, but that doesn't mean they get to be a jerk all the time to everyone. Sometimes I read books with unlikable characters and it doesn't bother me, but this one is so unlikable And this book is just, I don't get it. This actually has a lot of 5 stars and a lot of people said it's their favorite book. I find it so upsetting. I get that it's polarizing. No, first of all, this is not a romance, which is fine. I didn't really care either way, but I see a lot of people going into this thinking like it's a spicy romance. It's not really. It's about the woman and like her discovering herself. I consider it more chick lit. I'm sure there's some spiciness towards the end, but that's not really the plot. Anyway, I read this so you guys don't have to. If you're following my channel, you probably won't like it. That's just my personal opinion. I need a grand adventure. I need fun. I need cute things. This is just not it. But I finally did it, and I'm glad. Now I can tell people in future videos and things. And let me know if I should make a mermaid books that I hate / don't like video. I made one in the past. I normally don't like making those types of videos, but since there are so many books with mermaids on the cover that don't have anything to do with mermaids or bad in some way, let me know if I should make that. Anyway, not wasting my time anymore with this junk. Just wanted to come in and update you. Good morning, happy Mermaid Marathon, day 11. I don't know if you guys can hear me over these massive waves, but I came to the beach this morning finally, and I brought my book, but I'm also going to hunt for sea glass. It's extremely low tide right now. Absolutely beautiful. This is one of my favorite beaches ever, and I haven't been here in a while. So I'm just gonna take you with me while we do that, and we're gonna spend the morning on the coast. Forgive the sizzling in the background. One more check-in. I finally have my full basket of tomatoes, just in time for the readathon. So, had to share. Hey guys, I'm looking rougher and rougher as the readathon goes on. I just got a summer dress on because it's cool. I've got a hat on because I need to wash my hair. It's a whole thing. It is 5 o'clock on Thursday and I have read and listened to nothing today. Had a really good time at the beach. Only stayed for an hour because I parked in the wrong spot and I was too lazy to move it. I went Halloween shopping, found pretty much nothing, so I didn't film anything. Went to the plant store, I got a whole bunch of things, and then I came home and planted most of it, and then I crashed. And I've been listening to my Bachelor Recap podcasts because Pisces kind of stressed me out yesterday, and I wanted something like really light and fluffy. I decided I'm not going to continue on with Mermaid in Brooklyn. I didn't get any further than I did yesterday or the day before. I feel like it's going to be another sarcastic, not fun read, and I'm just not in the mood for that. Not that we ever are, but I wanted to give it a shot. Maybe next year. I am really loving The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea, so I'm going to continue this, finish it off tomorrow, and then hopefully do at least one more audiobook because this readathon has just gotten away from me. I'm behind on editing. My house is a mess. I'm still not feeling 100% better. My energy is still kind of low. I'm off my game right now, so we're probably going to stick around here again tomorrow, but we are going to do something fun this weekend, and then we're just going to wrap this whole thing up and start prepping for the next readathon, which will hopefully go a lot better. Hopefully me slowly falling apart as the weeks go on is somewhat entertaining still. All right, signing off. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, happy Mermaid Marathon, day 12. I have a little strapless dress on, just so you know. There's clothing underneath, I promise. So I'm feeling better today again. I feel like I'm going on like a little roller coaster. Between the allergies and then being sick last week and just feeling, I don't know, flustered. Doing okay. Okay, so I have an hour and a half left in Mermaid and the Witch, and I'm really enjoying this so much. It's such a good piratey adventure. It is bouncing back and forth through the timeline a little bit, so that part confused me just a tad, but I think I'm caught up. I think I understand what's happening. My bangs are extra big today because I just washed my hair, so bear with me. Okay, so I was gonna stay home today because I didn't really have any plans besides like getting groceries, but my mom called and asked if I wanted to go shopping and have lunch with her, and that just sounds a lot more fun and like a good mood booster. So I'm getting ready to go meet her and my sister for lunch. We're gonna go do some normal shopping, and then we're gonna go do some more Halloween shopping because I tried to go to this Home Goods in this area on 4th of July and they said they were open, but I think I like just missed the cutoff. So we're gonna go to another Home Goods, fingers crossed, because I'm having no luck, but I keep seeing other people posting like huge aisles of Halloween, and last year during Mermaid Marathon week 2, I actually had like a mini Halloween haul because I was finding so much stuff. I'm gonna try and not get too much this year because I have so much already. I want some things for the Halloween party, which is gonna have a cool theme, which we'll talk about like later on in the year. And then I always like to see the new Disney merch. I'll probably get like another clothing items, you know, I'll get a decent amount, but I'm going to try not to buy too much because I'm running out of room for decor and I need to just like clear everything out. So we're going to do that. We're going to go to Home Goods. We might go to the library bookstore. We're just going to have a fun day today. Come back, take Ledge for a nice walk, clean up the house a little bit. I'm going to listen to my audiobook on the car ride. I'm definitely going to finish that today. And then I'm going to start one more before the readathon ends. I'm not entirely sure which one I'm starting. That is today's plan, so I'll take you with me on another adventure. Oh, and today's mug, I don't think I've shown this one, is another Ariel mug. This looks really similar to a different one I showed, except for that Ariel is in color and then all the like extra stuff is not, which I would prefer this to be in color, but it's okay. This is like one of those stoneware mugs that I love because they're a little bit sturdier. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'm back from shopping and things went really well. I really needed that. It's very relaxing. Lunch was really good and I found some things, so I'm going to show you the stuff I got in order of least exciting to most exciting. So first, ironically, I went to Macy's and they were having a sale, so I got some of these cute workout tank tops that were normally like $15 for like $7. I need more stuff for hot yoga because I just don't have things that work really well. You want something that's a little bit tight so it won't like fall down on you when you're doing the poses, but also comfy. And then I got some of these shorts, which are normal length. I do not like when the shorts are like true biker shorts. I feel like that makes my legs not look great and it makes me feel uncomfortable. So I like it when they're shorter like this, but I need something a little bit tighter again so it won't like fall down during yoga. Then I went to box lunch with my sister and I didn't get anything there, but I think I am going to order something online that I liked because online they're having a sale, but they didn't have the sale listed in the store. So I don't know what that was about. But I went to Hot Topic and I got some spooky rings, which these were just normal for them. But I got this set that has this little heart with the dagger, this awesome little like rose portrait, this skull ring, which I don't know if you can see very well, but I've wanted one of these for a while. And then this like skeleton body ring, which I'm already wearing because I love it. And then I also got these Super Mario earrings, which I'm missing one. I think it fell out in when I put it in my purse, so hopefully I can find it. But really cute because they were all on sale, and I think we're gonna go to Mario World sometime later this year. Then I went to At Home and Home Goods, but I'll show you what I got at Home Goods in a second. I finally found some Halloween, so that was exciting. And I went to the library bookstore and they had like a 50-cent shelf for like the ex-library books. So I got Willow Grove, which is a Hemlock novel. I don't know much about it, but I know that it's like good for spooky season. I got Catalyst, which is part of Insignia, which I think is either space galaxy related or video game virtual reality related, and I have one or two of the other ones. I got Across a Star-Swept Sea, which originally when I got this series I thought it was Mermaid and then I thought it was Galaxy, so I'm not sure. I think it's a retelling, but this is like the second book in the series. I got Blue Voyage, which I've never heard of, but it looked like it might be set on a boat, so that's promising. So I got all those for 50 cents, and then right when I was about to leave I found Monsters Born and Made by Tanva Burwa. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And this one is so beautiful. I paid more for this one. This was like a $7 book. It has this really cool naked book with like a beautiful ocean on the back. And this is set on an island. I don't know if this is a special edition. It's so pretty though. But I know it's set on an island, so I'm thinking about reading it in between like summer and spooky season. And I think this is a part of a duology, but this came out last year, so I was really excited to get it. Okay, then lastly, I got this little ghosty candy jar guy because I got something like this for Christmas. They're supposed to be for like candy. And it was like a Santa, and then I put all of my like hair scrunchies and like hair claws in it, and I absolutely loved it. It made them like easier to find and they weren't like stacked up on top of each other. I think I may have already gotten something for Halloween when they were on sale last year, but I got this just in case. I always keep my receipts when I start Halloween hunting because sometimes I get excited and I get things and then better things come out. So I have the receipt in case I need to return him, but I thought it was so cute and I'm so excited to finally find Halloween. As you can tell, I am in a much better mood. I have an hour left of Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea, so I'm gonna go and listen to this while I take Ledge for a walk, while I water the garden and do some more harvesting. And then I will update you guys when I have finished it. I think Jeff's working late tonight, so I might sit down and read. I'm not entirely sure. Tomorrow I'm finally doing the salt float that I mentioned in the last reading vlog. And I don't know what we're doing the rest of the day, but then Sunday we're gonna have like a beach day. So excited. Hey guys, happy Mermaid Marathon day 13. So I'm done with my salt float. We went and had a really nice Italian lunch. I'm looking a little chaotic with my wet hair, a little bit of salt residue. I enjoyed the salt float. At first I was like, oh my gosh, I'm alone with my thoughts and this is going to be a long hour. But after like the first 10 minutes, I kind of chilled and I almost fell asleep. I wouldn't say that I 100% relaxed because I need to work on that. But I did relax and I felt like it was pretty good. So we'll see how I feel over the next couple of days. The guy that owns the shop was really nice. But on the way home, I'm going to go to Ross, Joann's, Marshall's, and I think Michael's to hunt for some more Halloween. So finish The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea. I'll talk to you about that when I get home. I started Against the Tide, The Little Mermaid. So this is a new book about the Little Mermaid. It's definitely on the younger side of young adult, but I'm enjoying it so far and I only have 2 hours left. So things are going pretty good. I'm almost done with my ebook. So things are perking up just a little bit here towards the end. So let's go shopping. Hey guys, happy Mermaid Marathon day 14. I'm back in my summer dress. So as you can see, we spent the morning to a really cool beach, going to the beach town. We got breakfast, we hung out at the beach for a little bit, and then Jeff took me to Home Goods to get some Halloween, and I did find that sugar and creamer set with the witch on it. I've been looking for that, plus like the teapot and the mugs, so hopefully I can still find those sometime, but I got that. I'm sorry I didn't check in much yesterday. I kind of crashed after we got home from like the salt float and everything, and I didn't really do much, but I did finish Speechless on ebook. This one started off better than it wound up being. Like, I did really enjoy this one. It had a dystopian vibe. It had kind of like a Divergent vibe. No mermaids, but we do have a girl that has like gills. This one would be better for Galaxy-a-thon because we have like a colony that's on Mars. The romance never really developed like at all. It was kind of strange like what went about it. And then the overall plot I don't know, I feel like it was a little bit odd. It didn't like end or wind up the way I wanted. So I gave it like a 3.5 star. The writing was really good, and I probably will try the second one because it just went really fast. So physically I decided not to start anything new because I just didn't feel like I would be able to get anything in. But I did pick back up The Vast and Brutal Sea, which is part of a Mermaid trilogy that I've been trying to finish as part of like my unfinished series list, and I had read half of this before Mermaid Marathon. So since I had like 150 pages, I was like, well, it's still mermaid themed, so I'll pick it up. So I actually only have 60 pages left of this. So if I can finish it today, I will count this as part of one of my books for the readathon because I read over half of it. Like I said, I finished The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea, and I really loved this one. I thought it was super piratey. I liked the romance in here. I thought it was very unique, had like a solid fairy tale vibe. This was like a solid 4 star. It felt like a little bit slow and a little bit all over the place at a couple parts, but overall really enjoyed it. Very curious what the next book is about. I don't know if it follows like a different character. I would assume so based on how this ends, and I think it's going to be a trilogy. So I will report back. And yesterday I started Against the Tide, The Little Mermaid, which I am enjoying. This is taking place before the events of The Little Mermaid. I think Ariel is like taking over a regent, and she's like having this ceremony before the coral moon, and then something happens to one of her sisters and she has to like solve the mystery, and there's a bunch of sea monsters. Very cute. Definitely on the younger side of YA. Like I would say kind of a cross between middle grade and YA, but it's very fun. We've got Flounder in here, and it's just kind of a mermaidy adventure, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm definitely gonna finish this one. I only have an hour and a half left. Hopefully finish this, and then we're gonna call it good. So overall, all things considered, with how I didn't prepare in advance as many things as I usually do for the readathons as far as like pictures and things, and with me getting sick and with all the birthdays, I feel like this was a very successful readathon. So I'll check back in a little bit, wrap everything all up. I'm gonna go do some meal prepping, finish up my audiobook, clean the house. But overall, I'm having a very great day. Jeff and I had so much fun at breakfast and at the beach. We're doing good. I didn't find anything Halloween hunting yesterday either, by the way. There was like almost nothing at all the stores, so not much footage. So I'll check back in, see you in a minute. Hey guys, it's now been a couple days since the readathon ended. I'm sorry I didn't check back in on Sunday night, but I wanted to pop in here and kind of close out this reading vlog. I did finish Against the Tide, and I think I gave it 4 stars. It was very cute, very like younger YA, but I thought it was a fun story. And then I also squeezed in The Mermaid by Jodi Picoult, which was just like an hour-long audio, short little novella. This one was actually about a woman that was like a mermaid at a theme park. It has kind of like a magical surrealism to it. Her and her husband are like marine biologists, and they're studying these like fancy fish, so they make their pool habitable for these fish so they can observe them. Then weird things kind of start happening. I don't really know how to rate this because I enjoyed parts of it, but then it just like ended, and I'm not really sure how we were supposed to feel about it overall, and it had some like sadder topics. It was really short, so probably like a 3 star. And then I did finish The Vast and Brutal Sea, which is awesome because I knocked out another series. I didn't know if I'd be able to finish this, but I finished it in time, and this was like a 4 star. I really enjoyed the series. So I will go more in depth into all of the reads in my Mermaid Marathon wrap up, which will be up very shortly after this video is up. Be sure to check out that first Mermaid Marathon vlog if you haven't already. Leave me a themed emoji down below if you made it this far into the video and if you had a great time during Mermaid Marathon. These are all of the books that I got to for the readathon. I feel like I did pretty good considering that it was just a really funky week and I got sick and we had birthdays and things like that. Like I said before, I don't think I'm going to do it during 4th of July again just because of all the birthdays and things that happen. It's a little bit crazy for me. Be sure and check out the announcement for Retoldathon, which should already be up. I will link it down below in the description and up in the cards if you haven't seen it already. That is the next readathon, which is all themed around retellings. Make sure to follow me on the Instagram at The Bright Side Girl. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time on The Bright Side.